Good afternoon, YouTube. My name's Dan.
And I'm Bryce.
We're reporting from St. Paul, Minnesota. This Saturday, September 7th, 2013, the day before the first regular season game for the Minnesota Vikings against the Detroit Lions. We're just going to recap a little bit of the last two preseason games, weeks 3 and 4 in the preseason. The Vikings beat Tennessee in the final preseason game, 24-23.
Let's go Vikes.
And they, the week prior against the 49ers, played okay defensively, but lost that game ultimately. But it isn't about wins and losses. There was a key injury in the San Francisco game. As you all know, Kevin Williams took a low block, borderline cheap shot by one of the backup linemen for the 49ers, and it will not be playing on Sunday, which is unfortunate. So it isn't a serious injury, but they're holding him out this week. So that's the key injury for tomorrow, is that Kevin Williams will not be playing. As for the Tennessee game, Marcus Sherrill's pretty much solidified his spot with his play. He had a kickoff return and an interception in that game. So I think a lot of us are happy that he made the team with the death of his father a couple weeks ago. So real quick, just going to go over our 53-man roster, which came out last week. Our quarterbacks, of course, Christian Ponder, Castle, and Bethel Thompson. The backs are Peterson, Toby Gerhardt, Eziata, and Zach Line made the team. He'll be starting in place of Felton, who's suspended the first 3 games for violating the NFL's substance
abuse.
Yeah, substance policy. So that's unfortunate. Just got a big contract and got in trouble, so not good. Receivers, Greg Jennings, Jerome Simpson, Cordell Patterson, Jarius Wright, and Joe Webb is on the team. Had a touchdown grab and looked pretty good in the receiving corps. And Kyle Rudolph, John Carlson, Ellison are the tight ends. The linemen, just go over them. There are 8 of them. Matt Cleo, Charlie Johnson, John Sullivan, Brandon Fusco made the team. Phil Loholt, Jeff Baca, Joe Berger, and Troy Kropog. Defensive linemen, Brian Robeson, Kevin Williams, LaTroy Guyon, Jared Allen, Everson Griffin, Sharif Floyd, Fred Evans, Chase Baker, and George Johnson. Linebackers, Chad Greenway, Aaron Anderson, Desmond Bishop made the team, had a real good camp and preseason. Marvin Mitchell, Adi Cole, Larry Dean, Gerald Hodges, Mike Motti. Defensive backs are Chris Cook, Josh Robinson, who didn't look that great in the last couple preseason games, the 49er game especially. Looked pretty awful. So we're thinking the Lions are going to key on him tomorrow. So Josh Robinson's got to step it up here. Xavier Rhodes, AJ Jefferson, Marcus Sherrills, again, who looked great against Tennessee. Marcus will follow Harrison Smith, Jamarcus Sanford, Mr. L. Raymond, Andre Sandejo, I can never say his last name, and Robert Blanton. Blair Walsh, Jeff Locke, and Colin Leffler on special teams. So that's your 53-man roster. And Bobby Felder did not make the team. That was kind of a surprise. Thought he played pretty well, but will be on the practice squad. So going into week 1 tomorrow, Bryce, what are your thoughts?
Well, key factors. Minnesota secondary is going to be, make or break for us. We got Cook in the backfield as well as Xavier Rhodes, but I think they're going to be keying in on Xavier Rhodes being that rookie. Not a whole lot of time experience in the NFL. So, going up against Calvin Johnson and the receiving corps with the Lions is going to prove to be a challenge. It's all going to come down to, whether the Minnesota Vikings are going to be able to put the pressure on Stafford. So
yeah, it's as we discussed, and as we know, the Vikings offense is built around Adrian Peterson. We can't afford to get too far behind in games. We're better when we jump out in front and we can run the ball and have our defense, hold serve. As I mentioned, Josh Robinson they're gonna pick on him tomorrow, and Calvin Johnson, who is obviously a beast, especially if he's going to be in the slot, and that's just going to put more pressure on our back end of our secondary. So we're going to need our corners to step up. As you said, Xavier Rhodes, being a first-round pick, he had a pretty good preseason, but this is the big stage, starting tomorrow. So we're gonna need to see what he can give us.
I guess other key factors too. I mean, quarterback. Christian Ponder, he's going to need to step up huge. I mean, I don't think the Lions are going to be that stereotypical squad that are going to be, having a 3-4 win season this year. This is a squad that's been building, and this year especially is going to be looking to make quite a bit of noise in the NFC North.
You can say what you want about the Lions. Some people are saying, hey, it's the same old Lions. They are better, and you can't afford to look past anybody. Minnesota's fared well against Detroit over the years, including a sweep of them last year where they were supposed to be better. They won in Detroit 20-13, and then won at the Metrodome 34-24. So pretty solid victories last year for the Vikings over at Detroit. But Stafford's only going to be better, and they have Reggie Bush now, a great acquisition for them.
There it was.
He's going to be. They're going to use him in a lot of different ways, not just out of the in between the tackles. They're going to try to
over the middle and everything.
Get him in space, absolutely. So, it's going to be a tough challenge for our defensive ends, and so we're looking forward to the game. It should be a great one. But yeah, Ponder, starting tomorrow, we're going to have to hopefully see him continue to progress and pick up where he left off last year.
Yeah, I would really like to see him progress into maybe the 200-yard range per game.
Yeah.
I think definitely that's going to be a key factor in determining whether or not the Vikings are going to have another 10-plus win season. We need to see that kind of a progression out of Ponder. Going into next season, even going into the future, it's make or break time for Ponder.
Yep, his third year as a starter, and 3's the charm. We have to see if this is the guy that's going to be the face of the franchise. Obviously, this is probably one of the North is probably one of the toughest divisions in football, with Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, and Detroit. So in all those teams, except for the Vikings, have proven starters. Rodgers, Cutler, and Stafford are legitimate starting quarterbacks, and we just the Vikings are going to need to have a QB to be proven that he can take the team. So obviously we have Peterson as a beast in the backfield, but this is a passing league, and we need a guy that can show us that he can get the ball down the field and get some pressure off Peterson.
Definitely.
So we did add some weapons, as you all know, with Jennings, and hopefully Jerry Srike can continue to develop. He showed us some things last year against Detroit and Green Bay with some big catches, and then Rudolph obviously was in the Pro Bowl, and so Ponder does have some weapons. So there are no excuses this year. He's gonna need to come out and perform. Now, starting on the road in Detroit tomorrow and then next week in Chicago, that's a tough task. The Vikings do have a very tough schedule, starting with 2 road games in the division, as we mentioned. It's just going to be something where the Vikings are going to just need to,
ground and pound like they usually do.
Yep, absolutely. So excited about seeing Peterson on the field tomorrow, and
I know he's chomping at the bit to get out there.
You could tell, that he wanted to play more in the preseason, but I'm sure he knows, that we just need to have him healthy starting out tomorrow. So we definitely with Kevin Williams already hurt and all that. So that's about it. Week 1 tomorrow at high noon from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Should be a good one. Looking forward to it, and we'll have a recap following that ball game sometime early next week. So YouTube, thanks for joining us. My name's Dan.
And I'm Bryce.
You guys have a good day. Go Vikes!
Yep.
Yeah.